Hello.
Hi.
Welcome back, once again, to Wheel Takes, a podcast about the Wheel of Time, a series of fantasy novels written by Robert Jordan, and a series that was ultimately concluded by Brandon Sanderson. I am Gus. I've read every Wheel of Time book.
And I'm Allie, and I am a first-time reader on book 9. Chapter 21.
Yes. This podcast only contains spoilers for what Allie's already read. And again, today, that's everything up to and including Winter's Heart, Chapter 21, a chapter that's called A Matter of Property. Allie, how you doing?
I'm doing okay.
We made it through.
We did.
June was a big month.
It was a
Just
big,
from a purely
huge month.
personal life, traveling, everything happening perspective. But you don't give a shit about that. You're here to hear us talk about these chapters.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
Yes. But we can't do that yet.
Why not?
We can't. Because we've got some people to thank.
Oh, really?
Yes. We
Oh my
sure
God.
do. We have some patrons. It's
so
great.
nice.
I'm thrilled about this. So everyone buckle the fuck up. Allie, first things first. Thanks for the high five, Elizabeth D.
Oh, Elizabeth D. Just like a momentous...
Oh.
Have we done momentous?
No?
I don't think so.
Let's do it.
A momentous lawnmower.
Oh.
You gobble up disorder and chaos and disarray, and you make everything pristine and orderly and lovely just with your presence. You are industrious. You're somebody who is not content to rest on their laurels. You're going to, make sure that you get things done, but also hopefully leaving some time for self-care as well. But you also know that sometimes self-care is work. Just a different kind of work. Do you know what I mean?
Can be, yeah.
Listen, putting on a face mask is work.
Yeah.
Right? Taking a shower is work. Like, taking care of ourselves, the upkeep and maintenance of us is work. And you understand that, Elizabeth. And you make sure to do those things that you need so that you can help others. You're putting on that mask before you assist others. And not only that, but you also make other people green with envy. Because you are just that fantastic. And for that, we thank you. And thanks for being a part of this community.
Thanks for the high five, Brooke.
Brooke. Just Brooke?
Brooke.
All right.
Brooke.
Just
Brooke, you know who you are. Thanks.
Just Brooke. That's it. We're just like, hey, thanks, Brooke.
Yeah.
Brooke, just like a prosperous... Did I do that one yet? I don't think so.
No?
Prosperous guppy.
Oh.
You understand in your bones the need to just keep swimming. You understand that sometimes the current of life takes you places, and your job is to make the best of it, and not only that, but thrive in it. And you are flippin' amazing. And for that, we thank you, and thanks for being a part of this community.
Thanks for the cup of coffee, Dan W.
Dan W, just like a glorified... Right? Yes?
Yes?
Cantaloupe. You never say you can't elope. You're a cantaloupe, you know?
Mm-hmm.
You're a yes, we cantaloupe. You're really pleasant to be around.
Oh my God. Okay.
And you always have a juicy story for us. And for that, we thank you, and thanks for being a part of this community.
And last but certainly not least, hey, thanks for jumping up to a pint, Roar.
Roar, thank you so much. And just like a selfless cave, you shelter people who need a place to be in the, stormy world we live in sometimes. You know that life gets a little rocky, but you're there to make sure that things work out. Tough stuff doesn't make you cave in. It makes you carve out an even softer, homier place in your heart for people. And you are wholesome.
Mm-hmm.
And for that, we thank you, and thanks for being part of this community.
So thanks, as always, to all of our patrons. Y'all are great. Podcast's still free. and you're still really nice, and we really appreciate you. And as always, if you don't want to hear us list things and people and names, there's a timestamp down below. So now you know that, and you can go,
Who is doing that?
Anyway,
No, I'm just kidding. You can do what you want with
Allie.
your free time on this planet.
Allie.
What?
You have some news of your own
I do?
in the podcasting sphere that we haven't mentioned on this particular stream that I think it's important people know about.
Bree, one half of the best-selling writing duo Kit Rocha and ERRATA of What Spoilers and I have started a podcast together because there aren't enough of them.
No. But it's not a Wheel of Time one.
But it's not a Wheel of Time one. It's sort of an offshoot that we started that is called the Hot Nuance Podcast.
The Hot Nuance Book Club.
I'm so sorry. What the fuck? I meant the Hot Nuance Book Club.
It all works out.
The Hot Nuance Book Club. We're going through different fantasy books over the past, we're really kind of diving into books in the 90s and kind of talking about people that were doing really interesting things when it came to representation.
Yeah.
And kind of analyzing whether they succeeded or failed in what they were trying to do in a hot, nuanced way. So it's like, sometimes the answer is yes and no. And we're just kind of looking at like, what kinds of work were they doing? What was successful about it? What had room for improvement? We're also having a lot of laughs, and we're first time reading through The Ruins of Ambrai by Melanie Ron.
Yeah. It's real fun. I'm reading it too. I'm not part of the podcast, but it's real fun. So
might have been Ambrai. I have not been able to pronounce that.
I've been saying Ambrai because there's an AI at the end.
I think we decided it was
Ambrai.
Ambrai.
I hate that. But
I know,
you know what? More power
there was
to you.
Pronunciation in the back of the book
That's
or something
cool.
like that.
I'm going to keep saying it wrong.
I like Ambrai personally.
Ambrai, whatever. Ruins of Thing. Check that out. I'm linking it down below. Have a listen if you're into that sort of thing. I am. I think it's great.
We've been having a super duper fun time.
Yeah, it's good.
Our first 2 episodes are out.
2, yes. You've recorded 5, but 2 are out.
Yeah,
so
we've recorded 5, but 2 are out.
That's pretty cool.
We've just been having a blast, the 3 of us. So definitely check us out if you are interested.
Allie.
Yes.
That being said, now that you're thoroughly discombobulated, where'd we leave off?
I have no
That's right.
clue.
Nobody knows. It was an episode that we recorded like 3 weeks ago.
Right, because we were going to all the weddings.
All the weddings in the world, and that ended with...
And then I think I read this section, like,
shortly thereafter, yes. So it's been
wedding.
a minute.
So I haven't read The Wheel of Time in a hot minute.
No. You probably the other reason you don't remember is because we did this for like most of the last 4 chapters. So...
Oh, just kind of going like, anyway.
Yes. But we're picking up shortly after Matt kind of wandering around having a bad time, meeting Tuan, having a bad time.
Oh, sure.
That's about it.
Well, I'm interested in Tuan.
Well, yeah, of course you are.
Here's where I'm hoping this goes. What I'm hoping happens is she gains some kind of consciousness.
A growth arc in my Wheel of Time?
About the fact that her country is fucked up and is doing fucked up things, that she is in a unique position to try and implement reforms to stop those things.
As the Empress, she would be the person who could.
Well, she's not the Empress yet.
Well, I'm
she
sorry.
Is one of the candidates.
I'm looking forward to the idea that one day she might be Empress.
Well,
right?
I kind of like her. She seems like not a terrible person. I mean, here's the thing, like, right? Let's hot nuance this.
Yes.
As a breakdown. Slavery is always bad.
Yes.
And the people who participate in it are bad.
Yes.
However, sometimes there are people who are victims in their own way of growing up in a society and being sheltered, not evaluating.
Yeah, I mean, it's not dissimilar to the fuck these guys brigade in, that I call them, in the Hunger Games, which are just like the common people who are totally on board with the games until they realize it's fucked up.
They've not had to really, here it is. They haven't had to really comprehend the society and its ills that they were born into.
Yeah.
They've been kind of fed a lot of lies and accepted things as truth at face value without really taking the time to confront the ills that their society is doing. And so they're deconstructing. My hope is that she's deconstructing as she spends more time somewhere else.
The hope for Tuon, right, is she has lived in this society and has been told her whole life this is how it is, and she's questioned perhaps other things, but not this, because it's been fundamental. And perhaps now that she is being, directly confronted with alternate worldviews, perhaps that will inform her opinion, right? Yeah. Obviously, she's still the heir to the empire of slaving, so that's
not great.
Bad, really maybe she should have thought about it, but we're hoping that she'll grow, right?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's one of those things. It's complicated, right? Because it's like, it doesn't undo the harm.
No.
Right? That she participated in and was complicit in.
And is actively very complicit in, right?
But we also have to hold space for people to grow.
Yeah.
So it's like an acknowledgement of the harm while also going, I hope you change.
Yeah.
Because that would be really great if you did that.
Yeah.
Like there is a place for you to deconstruct in a hopefully safe way. But also, please acknowledge that you were really shitty before.
Yes. Now, someone has been, I don't know if you all can hear this, but someone has been, doing lawn work since we started. It sounds like they've been running a weed whacker nonstop. So if you hear a weird buzzing, it's not a fly. It's this person who's just edging their lawn for an hour, I guess. I heard what I said. Go ahead.
They're living their lives.
Yeah.
The world doesn't stop just because we start podcasting.
No, that's true. It does not. But Allie, here's what I want to know.
And you know what? If they really want to edge that grass, what do they do in the privacy of their own backyard is what is up with them.
Allie, we're going to dive right in here now that we're about 15 minutes in to chapter 19, 3 women. 3 women. 3 women. 3 women.
3 of them.
3 women, Allie. 3 what? 3 what?
Women.
Women. That's right. Do you have notes for chapter 19, 3 women? 3 women.
I think so. Oh my God. I think so.
Women.
There's 3 of them. How many
women?
There?
There's 3 women.
Oh.
There's 3 women. How many different ways can I say it? Not many.
But there's 2 words, so
3 women. 3 women. 3 women.
God, I hope you keep trying to find new ways.
I might not.
This book is called Winter's Art.
It is.
Sorry. I haven't had to pull up notes.
No, because we haven't recorded in a minute.
What chapter are we on? Oh my God.
It's chapter 19, 3 women.
Oh,
Allie.
You know what? After all that, I don't have
Oh my God. All right. 3 women, chapter 19. Matt chapter. Matt Cawthon. Remember him?
No.
Yeah, me neither. The wind was out of the north, with the sun not yet fully above the horizon, which the locals said always meant rain, and a sky full of clouds certainly threatened as he made his way across the Mulhara. The particular men and women in the common room of the wandering women had changed. There were no Suldam or Damani this time, but the place was still full of Shanchan and pipe smoke, though the musicians had not yet appeared. Most of the people in the room were breakfasting, sometimes eyeing the bowls uncertainly as if unsure what they were being asked to eat. He felt that way himself about the strange white porridge Ebudari liked for breakfast. Now, if Perrin were here, you remember that one time Perrin was like, "Man, I hate being a lord," and then this guy came with his oatmeal and he was like, "You're 5 minutes late. Death."
You know what I like?
Yes?
Is that, I'm a person where I'm like, you try the local food and you like it.
Yes.
You do the thing. You visit a new place, you have new experiences, you try the local food, and you just get over it.
Yes.
Get over it. If it seems odd to you, because it's different cultures and how dare you, ethnocentrism, da-da-da-da-da. But then I find out that the Brits put beans on toast for breakfast, and
I think that would be good. Why do we just always come in and shit all over the British food? Like, that's our thing. We walk in here every morning. These poor people in the United Kingdom sit down. Maybe they've had a rough day. They're like, "Oh, I'm going on a road trip. I'm going to be on a train. I'm going to listen to wheel takes." Then we're like, "Fuck your culture's food, man. What's a chippy? Get shit on." That's what the plate looks like. We're so mean. We're so horrible. We can't be doing this.
I think Americans love to shit on the UK only because, and this is loving you shitting on. And mostly I was just trying to make fun of myself in that moment, not the UK. Me.
Have you ever had a full English?
Wait, I have an exception. But I think it's because it's like one of the few countries that we can make fun of. It's one of the few punching ups that we have.
In terms of...
As white Americans?
Like privilege and war crimes?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's one of like the three that we could go like, haha, fuck you. Am I right? Like it's one of the three.
Pretty much.
So I feel like that's why.
And it's... Yes, I suppose. Out of a place of love.
But it isn't a place of love because...
If you're listening to this in a chippy, take a picture of whatever you're eating and send it to us.
Because we're Americans. It's all we have. Have you seen our healthcare system?
It's bad.
Like, come on.
All right, so...
Let us have your bean toast.
Matt is at the Wandering Women. How's the Wandering Women?
There's women in it.
It's how many?
There's three.
Three women.
Three whole women.
And there's a guy playing cards. He seems like he's having a good time.
One man. One man. One man. One man. One man. One man. Like, one man. One.
This is good.
Man.
This is good. The wait staff like yell at each other to serve Yulan. Remember Yulan?
Who's Yulan?
Abaldar Yulan.
Was he Sean Chan?
He what? He was Sean Chan.
Was he the Sean Chan that stabbed the guy? Do I need to be more specific than that?
He was the guy at the end. He was like, the ever victorious army was defeated at the very end of Path of Daggers. He was that guy.
Okay,
He's
he
here
was
now.
like, we will weep about this day for generations.
Yes, that guy, he's playing cards. He seems fine. He's doing great, I guess. So that's cool.
A day that will live in infamy.
But that's, Sean Chan, high command type, not high command, but, well-to-do military dudes chilling out here in the thing because it's occupied territory and, whatever. I guess that's cool. What's this chapter? What's the gist of this chapter? Do you remember what happens in this chapter?
The gist?
Called Three Women.
Of Three Women?
Why is it called Three Women?
Because Settleanon approaches Matt about the fact that she has a Aes Sedai that somehow managed to evade capture and now has to get out of Abu Dar.
Yeah.
Without the Sean Chan noticing that she is there.
Yep. So because we run into several,
which sounds easy,
women that Matt was familiar with, right? We run into Jolene.
Okay, there have been multiple Jolenes. Because I've noticed, yes,
there's only the one.
There was a different Jolene.
That's Jolene. That's different.
No. There was a Jolene that died in the
That's Jolene with a Y.
No, we called her Jolene, and she died when Samael attacked, when the tower fell on all those maidens.
Jolene with a Y, different Jolene. This is Jolene with an I.
I know there've been multiple, but I know that they're different. I'm just saying that there have been multiple Jolenes.
You're right. But this is Jolene and Teslyn a few books ago when the girls were leaving, and they were like, maybe you should, be careful with the Sean Chan. And they were like, fuck you, they're not real. This is that Jolene, and now she's in an attic terrified for her life.
No,
sorry, not an attic. Teslyn is an attic.
Yeah, Teslyn's in the attic.
Mm-hmm.
And Jolene is right now kept captive. And Matt, at one point, someone did something for Matt or said something to Matt.
One of them sent Matt a letter.
About something.
It was like, I don't remember exactly.
They did Matt a solid.
It's a letter that's like, hey, Elaine and Nynaeve, watch out. Here's some information about Elida.
Right.
And Teslyn sent it because she fucking hates Elida.
Right. And at first he thought that it was
He thought it was Jolene, but it was Teslyn.
No. He thought it was Teslyn. It was Jolene.
No, I guarantee you.
No, he was talking to Teslyn, and he was like, thanks for doing that. And she was like, you're welcome. And he went,
You have it backwards.
No, because later he goes to talk to Jolene
you have them flipped. He starts talking to Jolene in The Wandering Woman, then he goes back to the palace and finds...
No, because...
I'm looking at the summary right now.
I know better than the summary because I read it. So, okay, here's what happened. He was like, okay, I've got to get Teslyn out of the city. And then he goes, hey, thanks for doing me that solid with the letter that you sent that I can't remember the contents of. And she was like, you're welcome. But she did it in such a way that he was like, you didn't send that letter. You don't know what I'm talking about. You just want me to help you. And then he realized that it must have been Jolene then. So he goes back to Jolene's room.
No.
Yes!
No!
That's what happened!
That is not what happened!
That is what happened!
Oh my god. No, it's not.
Sometimes my voice gets into a particularly shrill place where I like really do feel like I sound like Muffin from Bluey all grown up.
That's funny.
Am I wrong?
No, that I support this though.
Okay. Adult Muffin. But okay, so no, but what happened?
The opposite of that happens. You just mixed up the women.
Okay, well, I can't get credit for getting most of it
No,
right.
you're right, but you were like, no, it wasn't Jolene. It wasn't Teslyn who sent it. It was Jolene. Here's what happened. And I said, you switched the two of them. You said,
well,
no, I
is
didn't.
Teslyn the captive or is Teslyn the one in the attic?
Jolene is the one who gets squirreled away into... So they're both hiding.
What?
They're both in hiding.
No.
Yes.
One of them is definitely captured by the Sean-chan.
No, they're not.
What?
They're definitely... Neither of them is captured by the Sean-chan.
What the fuck happened in this chapter?
Okay, so Matt goes to the inn, and he kind of wanders around and talks to people and meanders, and he hangs out with, like, the serving women. You know, it's cool, it's fun. He looks at a gold-encrusted flatfish and feels his mouth watering, which,
doesn't?
you know, it's good, yeah. What the fuck is a flatfish? Soul?
I mean, I assume it's like, oh, you know what I bet it is? It's like Branzino.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. Golden sounds pretty good. And what is he focusing on more than anything else? He's Eludra. Yeah, he keeps on going like, I gotta figure out why is he so fixated on Eludra and the Bell Founder?
Because they're hanging out.
Yeah.
Well, they're gonna make cannons.
That's what you think, yes.
Yeah. And so he's like, why are those two hanging out together so much? The random, like, former circus performer / illuminator and this guy who makes bells. Kind of weird.
Well, she's trying to find a Bell Founder, and she keeps asking him, if you can figure out why I want a Bell Founder.
Well, he loves a riddle.
Yeah,
Me. Oh,
yeah.
Fuck.
I think he also wants her to help him get out of the city.
Yeah.
Obviously, and
and they made out a couple times.
Many times, yes.
Yeah. Which, didn't you say that they didn't? And then I was like,
I completely forgot this happened. I 100% forgot that happened. Anyway, so, you know,
Though apparently I literally read things and also don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. So you know.
He kind of meanders around, talks to the waitstaff, Settleanon busts in, and Jolene is, you know...
Oh, no, you're right.
...with her, and he's like, what the fuck?
I mean, I know you're right, but, like, you're right. I forgot. He sees Jolene first, and then Teslyn.
And Jolene is like, hey... Of course you're the fucking person that Settleanon said could help me out.
Wait, then who got captured by the Sean-chan? Because there's another one.
Not in this
not
chapter,
Teslyn?
no.
Where's Teslyn?
Teslyn is in the attic of the palace.
What's she doing there?
Hiding from the horrible slavers.
Well, how did he figure out she was up there?
He goes up and looks.
Well, how does he know to do that?
I don't know. He just kind of does. We'll get there. We'll get there. So no, it's okay. So Jolene comes up and, like, throws her hood back and is like, hey, what's up, dude? And Matt is like, your ageless face. We're in the inn, like, we're in the kitchen, but I mean, come on.
Anyone could come in at any time.
Cover your face, dude. And
survival instincts.
Settleanon goes, that isn't safe yet, Jolene. Until I have you safely. Suddenly, a commotion rose at the door to the common room. Enid protesting in a shout that no one could enter. Enid protesting in a shout that no one could enter, and a voice almost as loud in Sean-chan accents demanding that she move aside.
Well, the Sean-chan have historically been really good about people setting boundaries with them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're great about that.
Yeah, colonizers, when you say swipe or no swiping, they go, aw, man, and they put it back.
So how does Matt hide who Jolene is?
He fake kisses her.
He fake kisses her, yeah.
Which disturbs Egeanin. She's like, ew.
Ew, PTA.
Affection.
PTA. No, PTA.
Ew, PTA.
The Parent Teachers Association.
Yeah.
Disgusting. No.
That
PDA,
is
public displays of affection.
Disgusting to the Sean-chan. They hate parents planning events with teachers.
Enid backed into the kitchen, thumping away with her spoon at the sojin with a wet cloak hanging down his back. What's a sojin, Allie? Do you remember what a sojin is?
I remember that the two that we discussed were the Dakival.
Yes.
And the Shojin.
Yes.
And Shojin are a type of Dakival.
Yes.
A Dakival is an owned person.
Yes.
Okay. The Shojin are like a high-ranking.
Oh my god! I'm so proud of
person.
you. I could cry. Okay.
Now, I won't remember that.
That's fine.
In like 3 months.
What's a terangrial?
Are we doing this again?
Yeah, well, we're on the topic.
Okay, so an angrial is like a magic item, right? And a saw angrial is like a super magic item.
Yes.
And a terangrial is a specific purposed magic item.
Oh my god. It's a new era.
It took 3 years.
Yeah. A heavyset, scowling man with a stub of a braid that did not even come close to reaching his shoulder, he fended off most of her blows with his free hand and seemed to ignore the few he could not.
Now, here's what I worry about. What knowledge in my brain has that replaced?
Caffeine levels of different teas? What's the most caffeinated type of tea?
Black tea.
Yes, okay. What's the least caffeinated type of tea?
Green
There
tea?
you go. You're fine. So who is this? Sojin's got a beard. Who is this dude?
Well, obviously, Bail Domon.
It is Bail Domon. That is right. How's he been? Since we saw him 4 books ago.
They've gone through
5 books ago.
They've gone through it. So basically, she had to declare him a Shojin.
Kind of, yeah.
Right? She was like, I kind of did that to save your life.
Yeah.
Right?
We get a little more about this next chapter, but we can talk about it now if you want.
Talk about what?
Exactly how Bail Domon and Egeanin ended up in this situation.
We may want to save it for when it actually
Okay.
comes up, right?
That'll work for me. In
for
fact,
organization.
what we should do now is take a quick break for ads. Welcome back. So anyway, Bail Domon busts in,
All right.
as does what's her name, Egeanin.
And I'm a little annoyed that they showed up this late because I had been predicting for 2 separate bingos
Yes, you did.
that they would be coming back. And
then-
now they're late.
Yes, they are. Alas. So he comes in along with a tall woman with sharp blue eyes and a pale, stern face followed him, flinging back an elaborately embroidered blue cloak held at her throat by a large silver pin shaped like a sword to reveal a pleated dress of a paler blue. Her short dark hair was cut in the bowl, the rest shaved off all the way around above her ears. Still, she was better than a Suldan with a Damani. A little better. So, he goes, Bail Domon goes, a fellow out front did say he did see the innkeeper going round the back. If you be settling on, then know this to be captain of the Green Lady Egeanin Tamaranth, and she do have an order for rooms signed by the High Lady Surath Sabil Mildarath herself. And then he kind of...
Settlinon's like, cool.
Well, it's funny.
I have like 1,000 really high-ranking Shan-Chan staying here, so who do you recommend that I kick out of their rooms for you?
But I think this is funny. Then he kind of switches down and his voice changes to be just a guy trying to book an inn. He goes, your best rooms, mind, with a good bed, a view of the square out there, and a fireplace that does smoke. And Matt is like, what the fuck? But yeah, as you say, Settlinon does that. And Matt is like, oh shit, man, Egeanin's gonna kick the shit out of her. But does she?
No.
No.
She's kind of like, all right, good point.
Smiles, goes, it's a pleasure to deal with someone who has little nerve. I think we'll get on just fine, Mistress Anon, so long as you don't take nerve too far. Captain gives the orders and crew obeys, but I never made anyone crawl on my deck. And Matt is like, I feel like I know these two.
You do.
Yeah. Probably from like a million years ago. No big.
I mean, a few books ago.
So, yeah, they chat back and forth for a while. Is it relatively civil?
Yeah.
How you feel about Egeanin now? She's been gone for a minute. She's back. Obviously, we'll get into why she's back in a minute.
Well, I'm a little confused.
Are ya?
Yeah, because
What's confusing?
last time we saw her, well, I guess I'm not confused. I'm just intrigued because last time we saw her, she was like, I'm kind of done with this whole Shan-Chan thing.
Well, I don't know about done with.
Well, she was gaining consciousness.
Yeah, she was on her way.
She was realizing, this is all problematic as shit.
Yeah.
And we might be the bad guys.
Not all Marath Damani are inherently terrible. Huh.
Mm-hmm. And so she was kind of like, I don't know. She just seemed like she was deconstructing from that whole business. And now she's back again with Bail Domon as an owned person under her.
Yes.
But they were also doing it. which I go, that presents a myriad of HR issues.
Yes, seems like a conflict of interest, but we get a little more info on why that happened in a second. Not that it's great, but,
In fact, it's not great.
I like Egeanin looks at Matt, who is fake making out with Jolene, and she goes, I trust you don't let that sort of thing go on everywhere, Mistress Anan. Subtle Anan is like, nope, don't worry about it. It's not going to happen ever again. You will not see that again.
No, you will not.
Meaning also what?
Well, hopefully you won't see this Aes Sedai girl
This particular
ever again.
woman again, yeah. And I like Bail Domon is looking at him out like, hey.
I know that guy.
I feel like I recognize this
I know
dude.
that smoocher.
Subtle Anan is, starts effecting smuggling, an underground smuggling of Jolene. She's kind of the perfect person for this, don't you think?
I am a big fan of Settle Anon's.
Yeah.
She's pretty cool. I think she's magic.
Mm-hmm.
But somehow burned out or something.
Probably, yes. Almost certainly she was that one woman, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who was fucking around with,
That's what I think.
Yeah. What I like about this, too, is that we've got the nation that is kind of the capital of the Seanchan occupation is also, conveniently enough, sort of the hub of the Magic Lady Railroad, like Magic Lady Smuggling Center.
The Magic Lady Smuggling Center. Yeah, I like...
That's convenient.
Yeah, I like that the head of that is also a middle-aged woman.
She's not the head of it, but she's probably one of the most...
One of the key players.
One of the more connected, right, in terms of the smuggling
in that wheel
operation.
is a middle-aged woman.
Yeah.
Who's probably older than middle-aged.
Yes. Well, if she's what's her name, then she would be like 100 something.
100 something.
And Jolene, or Matt goes, you do this often? He asked, shifting Jolene. I mean, hiding Aes Sedai? Settle goes, I heard whispers there was a sister still in the city, and I managed to find her before the Seanchan did. I couldn't leave a sister to them.
That's very real.
She's good people.
No one deserves that.
So how's Jolene doing?
She doesn't seem to be very aware of the precariousness of her situation.
She's pretty fucking bad, though, at the same time. Like, yeah, maybe she's being a little bit rambunctious about it. But, she goes, Selena goes, her nerve is broken. She's been hiding ever since the Seanchan came. The last few days, her warders have had to move her several times when Seanchan decided to search a building instead of just the streets. Enough to break anyone's nerve, I suppose. I doubt they'll try to search here, though. And Matt's like, all right, hey, you know what? Jolene, you gave me that letter that one time, so hey, I got your back, girl. It's gonna be good. We're gonna have a good time. I'm gonna give you a hand.
Yes, the letter I definitely sent you. That letter.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, okay, so she did not send it, but still she deserves to be rescued. So I will do it.
Yeah. Just be glad you were lucky enough to dodge them all this time. Teslyn wasn't so lucky. So yes, he seems to think that Teslyn has been... Oh, wait a minute. I think I'm a fucking idiot. I think I'm a dumbass, actually, now I think about it.
Because last chapter he talked to her, and they were talking about, like, her exercise schedule and shit.
Yes, you see, here's the thing, Allie. I'm a forgetful fool. And you're right.
As opposed to me, who remembers everything.
Yeah, Teslyn and the Windfinders are, enslaved in the palace.
Great.
Yes, he goes and talks to them about busting them out. My bad!
And then he realizes Teslyn was the one that wrote the letter, so he's like, I will also save Teslyn if I can.
Yes, so...
yeah, that's what I thought.
Jolene goes, luck! I could have escaped. It was all confusion the first day, as I understand, but I was unconscious. Fen and Blarick barely managed to carry me out of the palace before the Seanchan swarmed over it, and 2 men carrying a limp woman attracted too much attention for them to get anywhere near the city gates before they were secured. I'm glad Teslyn was caught. Glad! She gave me something. I'm sure she did. That's why Fen and Blarick couldn't wake me. Why, I've been sleeping in stables and hiding in alleys, afraid those monsters would find me. It serves her right. And Matt is like,
damn.
Okay, that really... do you think Teslyn poisoned Jolene?
Why would she do that?
I don't know.
To what end? Are they on different sides of the whole, like, tower coup situation? Is that why she thinks that she might be involved in poisoning her?
We learned later this chapter that Jolene is... so Teslyn is fervently anti-Elida.
Right.
She's from the the tower proper.
Right.
But she hates ERRATA. So she might have.
And where's Jolene from?
They're both from the Tower Embassy, but Teslyn is like, hey, fuck this shit. This was a mistake. We should not have done this.
So maybe Teslyn was up to something.
Could be. She might have, yeah.
And gave her a little...
Fork root.
Little sleepy time tea. Yeah.
So, that having been said, he agrees to help them. He goes, I'm in debt to you. And as you say, Jolene goes, in debt? The note asking me to warn Nynaeve and Elaine. The one you left on my pillow. She goes, all debts between us are settled the day you help me get outside the city walls, Master Cawthon. And he's like, well, that wasn't confirmation, and also it wasn't on my pillow, so, you're fucking full of shit. Good talk. All right, never mind.
Yeah, but he's still gonna help her.
Yeah. And then, as you say, he goes up to some shithead's rooms, and,
What? Oh.
So anyway, he goes up to the attic, and he goes and talks to the Soldam and the Damani, as you say, and he's like, all right, I'm going to save who I can. I can't save all of them, but I'm going to save who I can. He goes and talks to Teslyn. How's she doing?
Badly.
Horrible.
Very badly. Everybody's doing badly. It's sad because he goes to one person's room and she's like, help me. And he's like, I can't save all of you, and leaves her, which just sucks. All of it sucks. This whole thing. I'm like, how can you look at all of this and go, we're the good guys. We're the good ones. We're really great.
He goes up to Teslyn and he goes, you put a note in my coat pocket. Why? And Teslyn goes, ERRATA does want those girls as much as she ever wanted the staff and stole, especially Elaine. I did wish to inconvenience ERRATA, if I could. Let her whistle for them. I did even dose Jolene with fork root so she could no interfere with those girls. I forgot she did. She confesses this.
Ah.
And look what it did get me. Jolene did escape, and I... And she looks at the IDOM, and Matt is like, all right.
And Matt's like,
cool.
I've got great news, actually.
I guess, you know what? I'm going to give you a hand. I'll help you out. I'll do what I can. It's going to be great. We'll get you out of here. It's going to be a good time. It's going to suck for a minute. It's going to be really hard, but you have to keep going. And she's like, okay. I mean, I don't know if that's going to work. I don't think you can really, even if you get the fucking thing, even if you can remove the collar, I'll not get very far. Perhaps not even out of the palace. And if I do, no woman who can channel can walk through the city gates unless she does wear an idam. I've stood guard there myself, and I do know. And Matt is like, it's kind of a defeatist attitude.
Well, it's not like she's been through, horrific trauma or anything.
Mm-hmm. And she goes... He says, you sound as if you don't even want to escape. And she goes, do I want to escape? When I do something that does please them, the Suldam do give me sweets. I do find myself looking forward to those rewards. Not for liking of sweets, but because I have pleased the Suldam. If you do help me escape, I will do anything you ask of me that does not encompass treason to the white... Help me escape, and I will do anything you ask of me. And he's like, that's, okay, sure, don't worry about it. It's gonna be fine. I'm gonna give you a hand.
Aww.
It's gonna work out. She goes, by the way, we're also gonna help Edicina Egeanin escape. And Matt is
Who's
like,
that? Oh yeah, she's like, okay, we're also gonna get all my friends out. And Matt's like, what? Now this has just become a much more difficult task all of a sudden. What happened to it's impossible to just get me out?
Yeah. Well, it's just the one though, because he says, aren't there several Aes Sedai here? And she goes, the others to be changed. Gaisin and Mylin. I did know her as Shireen Caminile, but she do only answer to Mylin. Now, those two would betray us. Edicina do still be herself. I'll no leave her behind.
Okay, but how do you know that?
Even if she do be a rebel.
I mean, I get that you can't, risk it, but what if they're just being really good actresses?
Yeah. I think she's like, I can't take the risk, because it seems like they are fully brainwashed.
No, I get she can't take the risk. I'm just saying, what if, I don't know.
No,
there's no perfect thing to do here. I'm just saying, I mean, you can't know that for sure.
You're right.
That they're totally brainwashed.
So she kicks him out.
I mean, what's-her-face was a Damani for 400 years or something like that.
Dude, I fucking love Olivia. Don't you love her?
I do.
Oh my God, she's so fucking cool.
She wants to kill all these fucks, and I think we should let her, honestly.
So he sneaks out of the Damani quarters, and he walks around the corner, and he bangs directly into Tuon, and she goes, Damani kennels are forbidden to men. You could be punished just for entering. And he's like, I was looking for a windfinder, high lady. She did me a favor once, and I thought she might like something from the kitchens.
See, this is why I remembered this scene, because it's such a weird scene. Like, not weird that Robert Jordan wrote it, but weird in that, like, it's like so awkward that because she basically is like, don't keep doing this or people are going to think you're a weird perverted freak.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And so I remembered that. So I was like, well, one of them's definitely a Damani. That's why I remembered. Just because it's so, like, cringy.
Yeah. He goes, I didn't see her, though. I suppose she wasn't caught when... He trailed off, staring. The stern, judicial mask the girl always wore for a face had melted into a smile. She really was beautiful. That's very kind of you, she said. It's good to know you're kind to Damani. But you must be careful. There are men who actually take Damani to their beds. You'd not want anyone to think you are perverted. That severe expression settled on her face again. All prisoners would be executed immediately. I think that's kind of funny.
What, that was the face she made?
She smiles at him and is like, that's really nice. And then she goes back into judicial mode and he's like, never mind, we're killing everybody.
All right. Yeah. She's a lot.
Thank you for the warning, high lady. And then she just goes away. And he's like, all right. Well,
she shows up to be like, don't be a perv, and then leaves.
Does he know who she is yet?
No.
No, he does not. He just knows her as...
She's still wearing her...
Yep.
I don't think he would know even if she weren't wearing her veil thing.
She would have proclaimed herself as Daughter of the Nine Moons if she were not wearing her veil thing.
Oh, funny.
But no, she is incognito. All the Shanshan know who she is.
Right.
And probably Shithead knows who she is. But, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But Matt does not.
That's fun. A little dramatic irony.
So he's like, all right, I got to figure out how to get the fuck out of this city with my charges.
We got to figure out how that's going to happen.
Get these 3 women, these 3 Aes Sedai out of the city. 3 women. I have to get 3 women out of the city. There are 3 women
my goodness.
I have to get out of this city. How many?
3.
Of what?
Women.
That's right. He needed a schemer.
You've become more and more unhinged as the slog has gone on.
He needed a schemer, someone used to plotting and crooked ways of thinking. It was time to make Tom sit down and talk. And Joylin. And then he walks around.
And give him advice on courtly matters.
That would be great. And
For the bingo?
He starts humming a song, and that's the end of chapter 19. That took a long time.
So wait, hold on. So we've got a couple things to discuss really quickly.
Yeah.
So we've got Tom, probably Joylin and Teslyn all doing some kind of scheme.
Yes.
Right? So there's a couple things at play. So Rand wants to cleanse the taint. That's a whole thing that's happening right now.
Yes.
So it feels like the 2 missions of the book that have made themselves known to us are get these women out of Abu Dar and potentially, Matt and everybody out of Abu Dar. And so are we going for like Falm Part 2 Electric Boogaloo?
Kind of, right? It's similar.
Yep. And then we've got Cleanse the Taint.
That's a big one. We've got, don't forget the Succession.
Which Ch19 and Rand will do with like the Choden call at some point.
That's what you think.
That's
what they've said.
I don't know, Bale firing the shit out of the goo.
Maybe. What goo? There's no goo.
Oily bits on the taint.
Maybe.
Nope, not on the taint. The taint on the
thing.
Like, is there a way for them to do that?
They got to get rid of it somehow. He seems to have a plan.
Yeah, just somehow sick Shatter Logoth on it or some shit.
What does Shatter Logoth have to do with anything?
I don't know. Don't they have, like, he's got the little, like, scars that are on top of each other, like,
yeah, what does that have to do
fighting one
with
another
anything?
on his tummy? Well, I don't know, baby. And then there's, like, Padden Fane with both sides in his brain, too, right?
You're saying a lot. I'm sorry. I don't know how your logic arrived here.
Well, I don't know.
Because you just suddenly decided that we're going to be incorporating Shatter Logoth, and I don't know how you got there. You have to walk me through this.
I was just trying to think, like, how would you kick bad stuff out of good stuff, right?
Yeah.
Either you throw more good stuff at it, right? You, like, balefire the shit out of it, but then what? It's not a physical thing.
Right.
Right? It's not like a physical thing you can point and shoot at.
Yeah.
So, like, how do you kick it out it seems that these two kind of evils like oppose one another somehow.
Which evils? What are you talking about?
So you've got Dark One evil and you've got Shatter Logoth evil, right? Like Shatter Logoth evil is like, they're like two opposing ends of the spectrum, right? Dark One evil's like nihilism to the point of like nothing matters, fuck it, the world is ours.
It's chaos, right?
Right? Yeah. And then you've got, because everything's about balance, right?
Yeah.
So you've got the like chaos, bullshit, Dark One evil.
Chaotic evil,
and then you've got like lawful evil, which
Shatter
is
Logoth.
Shatter Logoth.
Oh, sure, okay.
And what my therapist says
Yes.
is like, when you realize you have a tendency towards something, people pleasing as an example, that is not at all about me. If you're like a people pleaser, try really hard to be like very much, be a little bit selfish, like go toward being a bit selfish, right? And your natural tendencies will snap you toward the middle.
Sure.
Right? Which is where you want to be, the balance. So like you've got the like gooey, oily, bad disgustingness. And then you've got steel wool. So like oil by itself, kind of bad, slipping hazard.
Yeah.
Steel wool by itself could fuck up your hand.
Yeah.
But steel wool meets oil, really good time. Good thing to do.
Okay,
right?
So
like we've got grease meets steel wool.
And Shatter Logoth is steel wool.
Yeah.
Mashadar is steel wool.
And together they make a clean plate.
Okay, so far what you're saying is if you've got oil on the water, and they've been trying to clean it by spraying it with water.
Mm-hmm.
That's oily. But now they need to just, like, steel wool off the water.
Yeah, they gotta scrub it good.
And you're choosing...
with something super corrosive.
Right, okay, so you're choosing Shatter Logoth and Mashadar. What you were talking about, two evils, like, you crossed your fingers over each other like this. What was that in reference to?
Oh, like the stream crossing?
No, you weren't talking about... You were like talking about Rand, and you did...
Well, Rand's got these little scars on his tummy, right? So he's got like the festering wound that is not at all Jesus-like that he got from the stab to stab.
In book 2, yes.
In book 2, right? With what's his face?
Ishi.
Okay. So you got that scar, and then you've got the scar that's on top of it that was delivered unto him by Pad and Fane.
Yes. And what about them? Because you mentioned
they're fighting each other, but kind of canceling each other out.
I think we've described it as kickboxing in his side, yes.
Yeah, they're kickboxing in his side, but like by extension, kind of canceling each other out. Right?
They probably seem like they... Part of it is that Damer, I think it was Flynn, walled it off, sort of. He walled off the two evils from Rand.
Yeah, but they're still kickboxing in his side.
Okay.
They fight each other.
So from that, you are extrapolating that a way to cleanse the taint
might be
involve Shatter Logoth.
Throw Mashadar at it. Or not Mashadar, what's the other one?
It's Mashadar, yeah.
Yeah, throw Mashadar at it.
Okay.
Because I'm assuming that the oily part of the taint, right? Like the taint is not like a physical thing that you can like point and shoot at, right?
Not really, right? It's metaphysical.
Right. And the fog is kind of metaphysical.
Right, yeah, that's true.
Right?
Sure.
Like a metaphysical
it's
evil
there,
versus
but it kind of manifests.
Yeah, a metaphysical evil versus a metaphysical evil.
Put them together in a room, shake it up, and make them both go kaboom.
If I'm Robert Jordan, if you just like balefire at something super hard, we've already done that like 45
many times, right.
So he's like, how do I do this, but in a way that's different and interesting? Because I was like, what are you going to do? Just like concentrate on balefiring super hard? That's not like going to be super interesting.
We've done that many times.
We've done that so many times, you know? So I'm like, okay, we have all these examples of like, okay, we've got these two different evils living unharmoniously together, right? We've got like Pad and Fane as an example. We've got the scars on on Rand's tummy as an example. Stomach, I should probably say. It sounds more adult.
Yeah.
But, you know, so what's the deal? I don't know. It feels like maybe that's, you know, something you could point to later as a like, look, he put breadcrumbs here all along, right?
Yeah, that could work. That makes sense, right? They have been established, because Shadow Logoth's whole thing was they were so good they were evil, right? They were so dedicated to the destruction of evil that they became a different kind of evil.
Oh, and then Joyland's gonna make Matt take his girlfriend too, Sorry, I jumped to
No,
a
you're
different
okay.
thought.
Go
My
where you
other
want.
thought, okay, so now I'm thinking about the ways that the escape from Abadar could shake out, right?
Yeah.
So I'm thinking like, okay, you've got Joyland's got a girlfriend who's part of the Damani, right?
Is she a Damani?
Or she
We
better
don't
not
know.
be a Suldan.
Well, we know she's upstairs somewhere. We don't know if she's a Damani, a Suldan, a Dakoval.
If he gets...
Because
he keeps getting whipped for hanging out there.
You had a theory on who this was.
I did?
Yes, you did.
Who was it?
You had a theory.
But he keeps getting whipped for showing up there. He keeps getting, like, smacked.
You had a theory on who it was, and you said that it wasn't a Damani.
I did?
Yes, you did.
Oh, why would I say that?
Because you had a specific theory on who it was based on someone who you knew had been captured by these people, who is someone that Joylin has interacted with before.
Oh, it's a Dagaval.
Yeah, who did you think it was?
Oh, yeah, he's hooking up with Amathera.
You thought it was Amathera, right.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so he's going to insist they get Amathera out, too.
That would make sense, right? And then we've got a whole train of
Now
women.
we've got a whole fucking group. Like, we got friggin' Jolene, we've got Teslyn, we've got Amathera. Because we need to get Amathera out.
Just want to point out how very on brand it is for Matt to once again accidentally find himself in a situation where he has to save a bunch of people.
Eludra's going to be like, fuck, I'm staying behind.
Eludra's already basically out, right? She can go wherever she wants.
I mean, I know that she can go wherever she wants, but like, you know, if they're all escaping, I don't think she's going to be like, please let me stay in Shanchan land.
Sure.
Right? Like they're letting her vibe, but you know, I don't know. It doesn't seem like it's super fun to be there.
Sure. I get that.
You know, I just don't feel like a conquered city feels like a fun place to be. You know, you're like at any moment they could turn on us.
It does seem that way.
Right?
Yeah.
I would kind of go, I don't know, at any moment this could totally get bad.
Shall we?
Oh. Wait, I'm not
Yeah, please
done.
go. I'm sorry.
So I feel as though, but I'm also kind of thinking that Egeanin and Bail Domon might be instrumental in this getting out of here plan. But then, okay, they've got an issue. They've got that blonde dude.
Oh, the Seeker.
The Seeker.
Yes.
They've got that guy hanging out.
So these chapters really kind of pop off with plot all of a sudden, right?
Yes.
All of it, like, we're on
all
page
of a sudden.
466 here in chapter 20.
Uh-huh. And all of a sudden we've got hella plots.
Hella plots.
Right?
Right?
Okay, so...
Don't forget Noel. By the way, have you figured out what...
Well, I mean, you mean totally
yeah.
not Jane Farstrider?
Right, that guy. Yeah.
Come on. He's got to be important.
You grilled me on what Jane Farstrider's real name might be last week.
Jane Farstrider's real name?
Last name.
Yeah, because he has a different last name.
Did you ever figure out what it was?
No.
Well...
But that's not fair. I can't Google it. I can't Google the answer to my question.
When might it have come up?
I don't know.
What book might we have gotten background on Jane Farstrider in?
Oh, the Rodian book. Or the book with the fin. Yeah, because that's when they were reading. That was when Matt was reading the book.
Matt has not read the book.
No, I know. Matt claimed that he was. When were they all reading the book?
They've all read the book as children.
Yeah, but when did they talk about reading the book?
Throughout the series.
I don't remember. Fires of Heaven?
Maybe.
Oh my god. Okay. Okay, so he's Jane Farstrider. The old man in Grendel's room for sure. No, come on. He totally is.
This fucking guy shows up for one line of text and you're like, he's the linchpin.
Liz in my head rent free.
Sure. Okay.
Well, he's Malkiri, right?
Jane Farstrider?
Yeah.
Yes.
Isn't he?
We do know this. Yes.
Yeah. He's Malkiri.
Yes.
Did he come up when we talked about Malkira a bunch?
When did we talk about Malkira a bunch?
Well, like Land would have talked about it, right? When he's like saying no to Nynaeve. Was that a thing?
I mean,
I guess we got some info dumping about it in New Spring too, because unfortunately we found out about what's her face.
We did, yes.
Tylin won.
Yeah. No, we may have gotten news information about Malkir that might have included information about Jane Do we know anything about anything he ever did apart from his travels relating to Malkir?
Does it have anything to do with the Trolloc Wars?
The Trolloc Wars were 1,000 years ago.
Okay, so no.
No. Might have been 2,000 years ago. I forget which came first, the Trolloc Wars or Hawkwing. I think the Trolloc Wars were 2,000 years ago.
Okay, but he didn't have anything to do with Hawkwing either. Was he one of the guys who rescued Lan, baby Lan?
No.
Does it have anything to do with Lan's cousin, the bad Lan? Luke Isam? Does it have anything to do with Isam? Did he he went in pursuit of Isam. Didn't he go in pursuit of Isam?
Yeah, he did.
Okay.
When did we learn about that?
Isam and his mommy, bad mommy.
Yes.
We learned about that in Eye of the World.
Yeah, we did. Hold on.
Get me Eye of the World.
Oh, my sword is up there. Wait a minute.
I got Gus a sword.
She did.
For his birthday. I thought you should have a sword. Okay.
All right, let me see.
What is his name?
If I can.
What is his name?
Oh, wow. I accidentally turned to the exact right
It's
page.
Fate. Was it another one of Moraine's long stories?
Yes, it is, actually.
Oh, yeah, because Agomar, we're like hanging out here.
All right, here it is. Brian fled with her infant son, Isam, and was run down by Trollocs as she rode south with him. No one knows their fate of a certainty, but it can be guessed. I can find pity only for the boy. When Cowan Fairheart's...
All right, but they were evil as fuck, so they weren't going to eat them.
When Cowan Fairheart's treachery was revealed, and he was taken by young Jane Charon, already called Jane Farstrider.
Charon.
When Fairheart was brought to the Seven Towers in chains, the great lords called for his head on a pike. So yes, it appears to be Charon.
His last name's Charon. Okay,
Yeah.
what's Num's last name?
Noel Charon.
Is it really?
Yeah, he said that.
Holy shit. This is Jane Farstrider.
It might not be.
And if Matt had read that fucking book, he'd know that.
What if he's just a cousin or something?
Oh, come on.
He could be a cousin.
No.
There's only one Charon.
I'm right about this.
Is it Charon or Charin? What do you want to say? Charin.
Sounds cool.
Okay, Charin.
All right.
I don't know, man.
I'm right. I've got to be.
Anyway, let's keep her rolling.
Okay, so how do they get out of the city is the question.
Who? Do they? Well, he's about to go ski.
Well, maybe no. What's his name?
Noel? Noel, yeah.
Maybe Noel helps out.
Gnome is the wolf guy.
Right.
Noel is this guy.
Okay, that's good.
All right. Let's keep her rolling, shall we?
Keeping it rolling.
Chapter 20, Allie, Questions of Treason. That's the icon. What is it?
It's the
logo.
The bracelet.
Idom. By the way, the last one was the teardrop. I didn't mention that. Who are we with? Do you have notes? I don't think you do. You have notes from 21?
I might. Hold on. Let me look. How many are we doing today?
3. Unfortunately, Chapter 1 took an hour, but that's okay. People hate long episodes.
They hate them. 20 I don't have notes for.
Okay. Chapter 20,
for 21.
Questions of Treason. Bethamin chap.
Bethamin
chap. Who's Bethamin? Bethamin.
Bethamin.
You know Bethamin.
Is she one of the bad Aes Sedai? No?
She's here with at least one other woman. There might be 3 women.
Oh my god.
Bethamin is a Suldam.
Oh, right. Oh, wait. I know who Bethamin is. Bethamin is the one that Egeanin grabbed, right? Egeanin had her and was questioning her about what happened at Foam. Bethamin was one of the of the Suldam that fled Foam because she realized, because they walked in and Rena and What's-Her-Face were attached to the bracelets and they realized, oh, that means that
Rena and Seta.
It works on them, which means that I can channel, holy shit, this is too much deconstruction in one moment. I need to flee. And then Surath said any of those women that fled should be killed, but somehow Bethamin was an exception to that. And then now we're in her head.
Yep.
And she is flipping out.
She's having a tough time.
Yeah.
Right?
She decided to come back and kind of go, mea culpa. I freaked out because Falm was scary.
Yeah.
And then now she's being kind of like relegated to a lower group. The Suldam are all kind of making fun of her in retribution for the shit that she put them through back when she was super confident and awful. And now turnabout is fair play. But yeah, so Bethamin is kind of hanging out.
Yeah, Bethamin's with Rena. Rena, of course, is having a terrible time because she's realized she's Marath Damani.
And Sorath is basically going, keep that a goddamn secret.
Yeah, you shut the fuck up about that one.
Yeah, because that's a society-ending revelation.
They're doing stuff with the Damani. They had Rena had... Once, everyone had said Rena would soon be made Der Suldam, in spite of her youth. Matters had changed. There were always more Suldam than Damani, yet no one could recall Rena being complete since Falm, her or Seta, whom Suroth had taken into personal service after Falm. Bethamin enjoyed gossiping over wine about the blood and those who served them as much as anyone else, yet she never ventured any opinion when the talk turned to Rena and Seta. She thought of them often enough, though. So they're inspecting the Damani. It's very dehumanizing. It's, they don't reflect on it at all because they wouldn't. This goes on for quite a while. There are some Suldam, there's some Damani, Zushi and Atha Anmier Damani, even taller than herself, who she wants to beat because, they love doing that shit. And,
awful.
Also an Ilianer Damani named Tessie.
No good.
Who might this be?
Oh, yeah. This might be, that one that got picked up. The yellow?
Who is an Ilianer, Damani, who used to be an Aes Sedai?
Oh, Teslyn.
Teslyn.
They're calling her Tessie.
They're calling her Tessie.
Hate that.
Yep.
I can't wait for Rand to show up and go, all right, stop doing this slave shit.
Y'all better cut it out.
Not in my future utopia.
Enough.
Not in my League of Legends.
She thinks about Rena and Seta. How's she feel about all this?
How does she feel about Rena and Seta? Oh, yeah. Well, she goes, yeah, I'm freaking out based on what that revealed about the entire way that our society is structured, and this might be a secret that would tear us apart at the seams. And I go, wouldn't that be a shame? I think we should al-Kardal this information far and wide. Let's gather all the important Shan-Chan.
Great reference.
Thank you. I think we should al-Kardal this. Let them all know right at once.
I mean, we've already, completely shattered the structure of at least one civilization.
Right. And they deserved it way less than these people do.
I mean, yeah.
Am I wrong?
No. They have their own problems with slavery, which nobody ever talks about.
Yeah, let's remnant of a remnant these fuckers.
Yeah.
I'm Team Remnant.
Team Remnant. Yeah, okay, so... we reflect on what we've already talked about. She's heading back to her room in the Golden Swans of Heaven. The Golden Swans!
The Golden Swans!
There's some Death Watch guards. She's excited about the Daughter of the Nine Moons arriving. There would be joy in the city, in the land, when Tuon finally revealed herself, and celebrations as though she had just arrived. She felt a guilty pleasure at thinking of the Daughter of the Nine Moons so, as when she had done something forbidden as a child. Though, of course, until Tuon removed her veil, she was merely the High Lady Tuon, no higher than Suroth. So
she showed up and was like, all right, cancel the party until I want one.
Yep. So she heads back to her inn.
When is she going to take that little veil off?
When she feels like her eyes are no longer lowered.
Okay. I mean, I think her eyes are forever lowered based on her involvement in slavery.
I mean, yes, I agree, but
to each their own in terms of morality.
The innkeeper is like very, very sassy to her.
Uh-huh.
And she's like, you better not be fucking in my inn.
Okay.
Why you got some guys in your room? She's like, I don't have guys in the room.
They're like some hot guys in your room. And she goes, okay, I didn't ask him to go there, so stop interrogating me. Also, I'm a grown-ass woman, so mind your own business?
Yeah. And she's like...
What is with the purity police? I was
reading... In Abu Dar of all fucking places.
I was reading about how Maria Theresa of the Habsburg dynasty, the Holy Roman Empress, at one point was so concerned with the chastity of her subjects that she basically created a chastity commission. And your job as part of the chastity commission was basically to just spy on everybody and see if anybody was like hooking up with people they shouldn't. And it was a whole thing. And for some reason, it made her really unpopular with the nobility.
What? Surely not.
And then they started little clubs where they would
They started fuck clubs?
They started fuck clubs
my
because
God.
she made it so untenable.
That's so funny.
So they started fuck clubs, like in your face fuck clubs.
So she goes up to her room and she's like, wonder what's going on up here.
And they call them filthy things, like secretly filthy, like innuendo things, like the Oyster Society or shit like that, where you were like, oh, that's a fuck club for sure. But they could be like, no, we just really love and appreciate all things oyster.
Opening the door to her room, she froze. Impossibly, her iron lockbox sat on the bed with its lid thrown open. That was a very good lock, and the only key lay at the bottom of her belt pouch. The thief was still there, and oddly, he was thumbing through her diary. How in the light had the man gotten past Mistress Shore's surveillance?
Okay. If you have a lot of secrets, keeping a diary is the dumbest fuck thing you could possibly do.
Pretty much. So the dude, like, she gets her knife out and gets ready to scream, and the dude just pulls a card out of his wallet and shows it to her.
And it says professional hide and seeker.
He's a Korok from Zelda. He just goes, yeah, and gives her a seed. That's a Zelda joke. Between his fingers was a gold-edged ivory plaque, engraved with a raven and a tower.
Okay, that's a fucking cool business card.
Suddenly, she really saw the man, yellow-haired and in his middle years. Perhaps he was pretty, as Mistress Shorin had said, but only a mad woman would think of a seeker for truth in that fashion. Thank the light she had not recorded anything dangerous in her diary. But he must know.
Yeah.
He had asked for her by name. Oh, light, he must know.
I mean, keeping a diary when you have a million really intense state secrets is kind of the dumbest thing you could do.
Now, who is this dude?
He is the seeker who kicked Tom in the head.
He's the dude who kicked Tom in the head.
Which, too much.
It's so funny.
Extra, absolutely extra, but
all over the top.
Well, a little much. He's an old man. And then Elaine was like, I'm going to put you on a farm, Grandpa. And Tom was like, No. A farm is actually a lot of work.
That's a horrible idea.
And I'm not trained for that at all.
Also, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
So fuck you.
Do you know how much work running a farm is?
So this dude goes, you've been asking questions about a ship captain named Egeanin Sarna. Why? By the way, did you notice that's not her name anymore?
Egeanin?
Egeanin Tamaranth now.
Oh, she got a promotion.
She got a promotion. Yeah.
I mean, good for her, except it's a promotion among the slave people. Right. So, also, no.
So she goes, I was looking for an old friend. We were at Valm together. I don't know whether she survived. Lying to a seeker was treason, but she'd committed her first treason in deserting during the battle at Falm.
I mean, once you've treasoned once.
She lives, he said curtly. She's a hero, captain of the Green, and the Lady Egeanin Tamarath now.
Okay,
her
so
reward.
We've brought a captain of the Green and Green Aja.
Yep.
Okay.
Her reward from the High Lady Suran.
Trying to keep everything straight.
She's also here in Abu Dar. You'll renew your friendship with her and report to me who she sees, where she goes, what she says, everything. And she's like, oh, fuck yeah, dude, you're not here to investigate me? Awesome.
Okay, see, but you seem suspicious because you're not like, oh my god, she's alive? Yay, childhood friend.
How can I renew our friendship? You tell me she's been raised to the blood. Any overture must come from her. Why do you need me to be a listener? You can take her for questioning any time you decide to.
Well, sometimes when you formally interrogate somebody, they have a tendency to not want to tell you stuff.
And the dude goes, I'll explain certain things. She's like, damn, I thought you were going to stab me, but, you know, this is much better.
See, the Shanchan don't seem like a fun society to live under. I'm just going to put it out there.
You're no use to me or the Empire unless you survive, and you'll not survive if you fail to understand what you face. If you reveal a word of what I tell you to anyone, you'll dream of the Tower of the Ravens as a respite from where you'll find yourself. Listen and learn.
Come on, Rand. Remnant these fucks.
Egeanin was sent to Tant Chico before the city fell to us. Among other things, as part of the effort to find Sul'dam, who'd been left behind at Falm. Strangely, she found none, though others did, like those who aided your own return. Instead, Egeanin murdered the Sul'dam she found. I put the charge to her myself. She did not bother denying it. She did not even show outrage or even indignation. As bad, she consorted in secret with Aes Sedai.
Ooh.
When she departed Tanchico, she was traveling on a ship commanded by a man named Baal Domon. He made some disturbance at having his ship boarded, and was made property. She bought him, and immediately made him Sojin, so plainly he's of some importance to her. Interestingly, she brought the same man to the High Lord Turok in Falm. Domon engaged the High Lord's regard to the extent that the fellow was often invited to converse with him. Do you have wine or brandy? And she gets a drink.
And interrupts this whole little monologue to be like, I'm parched.
I am thirsty as fuck. I am info dumping
dry heat.
So much. The High Lord Turok was a great man. Perhaps one of the greatest the Empire has ever seen.
He could kick a man's head 7 feet tall. It didn't matter.
Dude, this guy's gonna meet
He had
Gaul.
high kicks for days.
This guy's gonna meet Gaul and be like, "You must be the highest lord of them all."
He kicked like a rocket, that man.
A pity his Sojin decided to follow him into death. Honorable of him, but it makes it impossible to be sure Domon was in the band that murdered the High
See,
Lord.
it's not enough for your side to be fucked up. It's also stupid. Like, then you have no witnesses to what happened.
The High Lord had ordered me to watch Surath. He suspected she was a danger to the Empire itself. His own words. And with his death, she managed to gain command of the Forerunners. I have no evidence that she ordered his death, but there's much that is suggestive. Surath brought a Damani to Falm, a young woman who was Aes Sedai, and who somehow escaped the very day that Turok died. Surath also has a Damani in her entourage who was once Aes Sedai. She's never been seen uncollared, but it seems very likely she has a Marath Damani hidden among her property, too.
Ooh.
I believe Surath gave the order for Suldam, who managed to reach Tanchico, to be killed.
Well, here's the thing. All of the Suldam are Marath Damani, so...
I know.
Just saying.
Perhaps in order to hide Egeanin's meetings with Aes Sedai. You Suldam always say you can tell a Marath Damani at sight, correct?
Nope.
And she's like, maybe kind of, sort of, not really, but like, hey man, fuck Surath, am I right? I mean, if that's where we're going.
That's my thing with people being like, wow, the Shanchan, they seem pretty, like they have it together for the common citizens. And I'm like, unless your kid can channel.
Yep.
Then they get taken away with no kind of trial, nothing.
Nope.
And if you try to go after them,
They'll
they
blow you
fucking
up.
kill you. And at any time, some fucking show up to your house and go through your diary.
So what,
Seems like a fun time to me.
what is this guy essentially charging them with?
Treason.
Yeah, he's arguing that Baal Domon, Egeanin, and Surath killed Turok and are doing some kind of sneaky thing with the Aes Sedai.
Now, here's my thing. I find there to be, like, not a lot more embarrassing than, like, a spy who's wrong.
Yes. Now, is he completely
You're
wrong?
reading this woman's diary and you can't get, like, a clear idea of what happened in terms of events? That's a little embarrassing for you.
Is he completely, like, what's the...
He's not totally wrong, because... I mean, Surath is a baddie. Yes. Right? But she didn't conspire to have Turok necessarily killed that time in that way.
No, that was all Rand.
And Egwene escaping was really not part of her plan either. Egwene getting captured was part of her plan.
Yeah.
And working with Leandrin was part of her plan. So she's definitely worked with Aes Sedai. Mm-hmm. And he's right that, like, Egeanin is suspect, and he's right that Surath is suspect, but he's not right that they're working together because they're in fact working against each other.
Yes.
And his incorrectness is embarrassing.
Now, I understand how he drew these conclusions, but it is hilarious to me that he has somehow taken all of the data and arrived at the wrong answer. Not hilarious, it makes sense. I just think it's really fun.
No, it's hilarious because all he has really contributed to the narrative so far is kicking Tom in the head.
I love this guy.
Like, he's not been the most effective spy in the world.
No. Turok's death is dust beside the danger facing the Empire. The Aes Sedai of these lands seek power in the Empire. A return to the days of chaos and murder when I'm turning into, Benoit Blanc.
I know, I was going to say, you're giving Daniel Craig in Glass Onion.
It's not Texas. I know that. I'm sliding all over the South, but I don't really care. A return to the days of chaos and murder when no man would close his eyes. I think I might...
Egeanin wishes that Bail Domon would slide all over her south. Am I right?
Hey-o.
Hey.
He probably does.
Yeah, and that's an HR problem.
Well,
You know.
Maybe I'll just try to make him fully Benoit Blanc, because he is an investigator. Turok's death is dust beside the danger facing the Empire. The Aes Sedai of these lands seek power in the Empire. It's shitty. A return to the days of chaos and murder when no man could close his eyes at night knowing he would wake. And they're aided by a venomous worm of treachery boring from within. I gotta work on this.
It's kind of a combination of Benoit Blanc and Foghorn Leghorn.
Yeah.
I see. I
like it. I saw a tweet once. There was this tweet when everybody was memeing out of control about Glass Onion.
Mm-hmm.
The tweet reads, actual Benoit Blanc dialogue. I keep returning in my mind the Glass Onion. Something that seems densely layered, mysterious and inscrutable, but in fact the center is in plain sight. Benoit Blanc in your tweets. What in tarnation? I do declare a murder. Consign it. Yeehaw! Which is kind of where I'm going with this.
I like
character. So, as I was saying,
Benoit Blanc.
He thinks there's a rebellion, and he goes, Surath may not even be that worm's head. For the Empire's sake, I dare not take her until I can kill the whole worm. And you're a thread to Egeanin, so you'll renew your friendship with her, whatever it takes. You understand me? And she goes, I understand, and I will obey. Her voice shook, but what else could she say? The light save her, what else could she say? That's the end of chapter 20. I just realized I left the air conditioning on and it's been venting. Chapter 21, Allie. A matter of property. That's the logo. What is it?
It is a sword and a anchor.
Yeah.
Is that like a Bail Domon Egeanin?
I think it's kind of an Egeanin one, yeah.
Cool.
In this chapter, I think you do have notes for.
Yes. They didn't get rid of the collar and bracelets, and now Surath has it. God damn it.
Sad.
This is why it's hard to delegate. I think Daemon Dread might be in the north now. Someone has to be up there.
Okay.
What?
All right, I see it.
Like, could he be the Blight?
Could he be the Blight?
I don't know. I'm just trying to think of, like, something interesting. He's probably up north.
Could be.
Upper Peninsula type shit, you know?
Sure.
He's a Youper.
Yes, all right. I'll buy that.
It's a Michigan joke. Regional jokes, get regional work.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's it.
All right. Egeanin chapter.
Gorgeous.
Very fun person. Very cool. Interesting. Made some questionable choices, but it seems like she had to.
Yes.
Yes.
But I am upset about the bracelets.
Oh, yeah. No, that's bad. Egeanin lay on her back on the bed with her hands raised, palms toward the ceiling and fingers spread. Her pale blue skirts made a fan across her legs, and she tried to lie very still so as not to wrinkle the narrow pleats too much. The way dresses confined movement, they must be an invention of the Dark Lord. Lying there, she studied fingernails too long for her to lay hands on a line without breaking at least half. Not that she had personally handled lines in quite a few years, but she'd always been ready and able to, at need. Plain fool-headedness, Bale growled. Fortune prick me, Seahawk could sail nearer the wind and faster than any Ch19 ship ever made. There did be squalls ahead, too. And he's rambling, he's yelling about something. She kind of tunes him out.
As you do.
How's she?
She's okay. She kind of feels like her things aren't going quite according to plan.
Sure.
Well, because didn't they were going to dump the bracelets into the ocean, but then Surath intercepted them? Was it Surath that intercepted them?
Yes.
And was like, what are you doing? And she goes, I'm bringing a gift to the Empress. She had to make something up, and she shows them the bracelets, the sad bracelets, and Surath goes, oh, great. The sad bracelets, for those of you who are just joining us today, that could, chain a man who can channel against
the male Idom.
Yeah, the male Idom. She's like, we found this. And Surath goes, hot dog, I'm going to confiscate it, quotations, for the Empress. And now she's got the bracelets. And I'm like, fuck. And then she also turned to Bail Domon and goes, who's this chucklehead? And she goes, my Sojin, which is an owned person of a high rank.
Sort of like, yes, you're very close. So first...
all Sojin are Dakaval, but not all Dakaval are Sojin.
Correct.
Nailing it. Dunk.
You're correct about all that. The sequence of events is a little tiny bit different, but very minor differences.
Fuckity.
But first she kind of looks at her nails and reflects on how, like, she'd always hoped to rise to be captain of the Gold.
Yes, the classic nail gazing. Nail gaze.
The nail gaze.
The nail gaze.
That's the title.
The nail gaze flashback. Classic.
Yeah. She's captain of the Gold sounds like admiral, basically. Mm-hmm. She's commanding fleets of ships.
Here's how I would do it on the show. If this were, if we wanted the nail gaze for the show, you have the nails. She's looking at them. She's like casually drumming them.
Yeah.
On the table. And then that becomes the like, of Suroth approaching on the ship.
I like that. That's cool. That's fun.
Yeah.
That would be good.
Wouldn't that be good?
Yeah. So she's like...
I'd love a good transition.
Now she was captain of the Green. 10 years before she should have had any hope of it, and stood on the slopes of that steep mountain that rose through the clouds to the sublime pinnacle of the Empress. Might she live forever. She doubted she'd be given command of one great ship, however, much less a squadron. So she's reflecting on, like, why is Suroth being so weird about me and my stuff? Why don't I have ships? This is weird. I'm supposed to just hang out here in Abu Dar? The high blood might speak to the low without the intervention of a voice, but it seemed, voice capital V, but it seemed to her that Suroth had forgotten her as soon as she was dismissed after receiving her rewards, which also might mean Suroth was suspicious. Mm-hmm. In any case, she could live on seawater if that seeker had given over his suspicions. He had no more, or she would already be in a dungeon shrieking, yet if he was in the city too...
Again,
he'd be watching her.
The Seanchan seemed like a fun group to hang out with.
Waiting for one misstep. He could not shed so much as a single drop of her blood now, but the Seekers were experienced at dealing with that minor difficulty. Captain of the Gold might no longer be possible, yet retiring as Captain of the Green was honorable. Bail Domon is
so she's not deconstructing in the ways that I would hope.
She is not fully deconstructed.
I don't love it.
She's reflecting on, like, she's been reflecting on the Soldom question.
Deconstruct faster.
Well, that's, I mean, it's a different element of the society, right? She's saying, okay, maybe Damani are people, but I still care about the nation itself. But she's made progress.
Not fast enough.
Sure. So Bail Domon is like, anyway, what do you think about all that shit I've been yelling about?
She's like, I wasn't listening.
Yeah,
I was participating in the nail gaze.
So
God, what's going on with my voice right
we get a little information about she's like, dude, you can't be talking to me like that. You're a Sojin. I understand you don't really get it and you're pretending that it's all play acting, but like you are technically my property, she says.
In a sexy way?
No, unfortunately not. She's like, look, here's the thing. You are actually my slave. So, like, you gotta act like it, which I don't love, but you know.
I don't love a lot about the power dynamics of this relationship at the moment.
Not a pose a Sojin should take with his mistress. With a sigh, she let her hands drop onto her stomach. Bail just would not learn how a Sojin was supposed to behave. He took it all as a joke, or play, as though none of it were real.
Yeah, that's because the Seanchan societal structure is kind of a joke. It's pretty ridiculous.
Once she had him beaten, and afterwards he'd refused to sleep in the same bed with her until she apologized. And she goes, all right, what was he talking about? Nothing that really matters. Okay. So they recap what happened, you know, and how they were captured and how all this came about. Essentially what happened here was they got intercepted. Bail Domon was like, oh, cool, let's run. She was like, absolutely not. They will kill us if we run. Mm-hmm. The Damani will kill us. They stopped. Suroth boarded, as you said, and they were like, here, look, this is for you. Bail Domon, like, fought back about this and was immediately declared a slave. Because he was like, no, fuck you, get off my ship.
Again, the Seanchan seem fun. They don't seem that bad.
So he immediately got declared da Koval, and then Egeanin was like, fuck, okay, I will buy him. So he doesn't, fine. I'll buy him as a slave. He'll be my da Koval. It's going to be fine. And then she immediately promoted him to be Sojin.
Okay.
But for whatever reason, it seems like she can't just free him.
She can't just free him, and she can't just go like, yeah, but it's not politics. Serious in private.
Yeah, she's like, no, we're going to commit to this because I'm still entrenched in my societal practices.
That's garbage. I'm with Bail Domon about this. This is unserious.
And Bail Domon goes...
this is what I decided about Robert Jordan, by the way.
Oh, yeah,
we're talking about this.
Yeah, so to your point, this is... Some people have been like, it's interesting you're skipping a lot of sections rather than, really getting into the weeds on them. Which is in part because we just simply don't want to talk about certain elements of this anymore. But also, as Allie says, laughingly, there are things about Dear Robert that simply we cannot take too seriously.
I spend a lot of the time kind of analyzing my impact.
Right.
Thinking about whether or not I'm
trying our best to cultivate the message we put out there in a way that is not potentially triggering or harmful. And we probably fuck up on this sometimes, and that's our bad. And we're doing our best.
Care for our community in a way that we've cultivated that has that we're so blessed with in a way that aligns with our values.
Yeah.
And
best that we can.
And that can be. That's a source of a lot of brain space for me.
Yeah.
Right? It takes up a lot of brain space. And what cracks me up is like, we'll be, questioning everything all the time, constantly worried. And then Robert Jordan just comes in here, just Kool-Aid Manning through all of our intentions. And there's just a certain point at which I just go...
He goes, how about I just put pink ribbons on him? I think that'd be fine.
Yeah, I just go, Robert, you are deeply, deeply unserious. Like, you just did that to us effortlessly. So I've just decided, and we just decided arenas. At this point, we're just like, you know what? Fucking awesome. Fucking awesome. All right, cool. And there are ways in which I'm like, I kind of envy the peace that he must feel. Just going through the world going, fuck it. So, yeah, I've thought about this a lot recently, and I'm just like, you know what? Fucking all right. We're in that case, the soundboard is where we're at.
Yes.
For my peace and yours.
Yes, and all of ours.
And all of our peace. We will seize peace where we have it.
Yeah. Anyway, so she bought him, and he goes, I do still say we could have dropped it all over the side. That seeker had no proof I did have it aboard. And she's
I kind of agree.
She goes, wait, seekers do no need proof. Seekers do find proof. Mocking his accent, which I think is kind of funny.
Funny, but also uncool.
Yeah. And the finding do be painful. In any case, Bale, you've already admitted there's no harm in Suroth having that collar. You've already admitted there's no harm in Suroth having that collar and bracelet.
Objection.
They can't be put on him unless someone gets close enough.
Are we really willing to take that risk? My God, now my blood pressure is at a obscene level.
And she's like, I don't know why he can't get on board with the fact that the prophecies of the dragon say that the dragon reborn has to kneel to the Empress, because he does. I don't understand why he's like, oh, that's totally not in there. Bullshit.
It's not in there.
She goes, look, maybe we'll have to pop these bad boys on him for just like a minute. Just like a minute or two so he can do the kneeling thing. But like, he's not going to know.
Trauma Rand. Oh my God. I'm no longer Team Egeanin.
Yeah, well, backsliding, we love it.
No, we don't. Forward slide only into class consciousness.
And Bale, then they kind of change the subject, and he's like, hey, maybe we could get married while we're in town. And she's like, you can't marry me, you're a Sojin.
And he's like, you have 100% control over that fact.
He goes, oh, of course, I do recall the lecture you did give me on the rights and privileges of my position. Sojin can only marry other Sojin, so you do need to free me first. Fortune prick me. You do not have a foot of those promised estates yet. I can take up my old trade and give you an estate soon enough.
And she's like, this is what's so funny to me. She goes, smuggling? Immoral. Yeah. And I go,
excuse me.
Ma'am?
Miss?
Madam? Miss?
I like it. Well,
you're an enslaver.
Here's why. She goes, it's not so simple. Manumission requires me to provide for your livelihood as a free man, to see you can support yourself. In your case, that means buying a ship, I suppose. And as you have reminded me, I have no estates yet. Besides, I could not allow...
Wait. So in this society, to free a slave, you have to prove that they can provide, that you are giving them enough to provide for themselves.
Yes.
So what incentive is there then to free your slave?
There is none.
There's no incentive.
No.
To free your slave. That is the dumbest system I've ever heard in my fucking life. Are you serious?
Yeah.
What is that? What is the why
there is
would they
no
want
impetus. There is none. There's no real good reason anyone would. It seems.
Wait, so, okay, so they're like, oh, we're not like other enslavers, because other than if you're a magic person, you can, like, work your way out of being a slave, but there's no incentive for your enslaver to free you, ever.
No.
So really, you're just a slave for the rest of your life.
Yeah, pretty much.
What about your kids? Probably also?
Oh, it's hereditary.
Oh, goody! It's hereditary? I don't want to hear a single goddamn person talk to me one more time about how the Shanchan aren't that bad, actually. Not one other person better be sliding into any sort of DM, any sort of comment section telling me that the Shanchan are good. They are bad. I cannot wait for the Alcar doll of the Shanchan.
I'm looking forward to it myself.
Spill the tea, Rand al'Thor.
So she's like, I wish I could have married him before the whole Sojin thing happened, but now he's a Sojin. I can keep fucking him. That's fine.
You could free him. He was doing just fine before. He was providing for himself until you decided, you know what? I didn't like your tone, slave.
Freeing a Sojin, casting him off from the rights and privileges Bael sneered at, was the height of cruelty. No, she was lying by avoidance again, and worse, lying to herself. She wanted wholeheartedly to marry the man Bael Domon.
You know what you could do is free him.
She was bitterly unsure she could bring herself to marry manumitted property.
So you know what you could do? Is you could free him.
No, she's saying,
Why did she not?
No. She's saying, I don't think I could marry an ex-slave.
What?
She's saying, I don't think I could do that. I would marry him. I don't think I could marry an ex-slave, though. Yeah.
Ma'am?
Yeah, I know.
Your fucked up society is the reason he was enslaved he was a free man until 10 minutes ago.
Yes.
And honestly, as his friend, you should have gone Uno reverse the minute Suroth left.
Yes.
What? These people are fucked up.
Yes.
Fix it.
So,
oh my God.
Yeah,
She's gonna not marry him because he was made into property because Suroth didn't like his tone?
Yes.
Because he was like, this is my property, my ship. You don't have a right to just come on board and demand quarter for no fucking reason.
Yes.
This is the dumbest fucking society ever.
Yes.
Why are they not the remnant of a remnant?
I don't know. So,
Archer Hawkwing's kids are a bunch of dumb fucks.
So Bethaman busts in and is like, hey, get the fucking Sojin.
And the Ogier are cool with this?
Well, the ones in Shanchan are.
These are the bad Ogier. These are the oh no gear.
So the Bethaman comes in and is like, hey, what's up? Can we talk without this fucking property here?
These people are on my last fucking nerve. She goes, honestly.
He can hear anything you have to say, Bethaman. What do you want? And she's like, I'm going to recap my section last chapter. There's a seeker. He thinks we're all in cahoots and doing some bullshit.
And he's making me listen to you.
So, here's all the information I have about that.
So here's the thing. Bethaman was like, I can't approach Egeanin based on the rules of our society. But then she realized that, necessity bred,
invention.
Pivoting.
Mm-hmm.
Egeanin, can you take note? That there's, shades of gray in most situations. I fucking can't. I thought that we had achieved, some level of understanding that the Shanchan are fucked up with Egeanin. I thought
Okay, you know, here's the thing. He wrote book 2 and 4 when he thought it was going to end with 6 or 8. Then he went, I could do like as many as I want. So he had to apparently backslide some of that or introduce more elements of it. And I'm not saying it's not realistic. Every time I bring up backsliding, people go, people backslide in real life. Yes, they do. I know. I'm not saying it's not realistic.
But if anyone has ever known someone in their lives that have backslid, is it not the most frustrating thing that's ever happened? Did you not have like a conversation with Uncle Jim at Thanksgiving about how, like, I don't know, gay people are people or something? Theoretical Uncle Jim. And he was like, you know what? Maybe they are people. And you're like, wow, I really reached Uncle Jim. I really did it. I really did that work. I really put that emotional labor out there and saw some results. Wow. And then the next time you see him, he's like, actually, they might be goats. And you're like, excuse me? What happened?
So
is that not the most frustrating experience in the world?
Egeanin is like, hey, it's all good. You know, I didn't do anything illegal except for letting you not die, I guess. But, you know, that's all good.
Egeanin is giving me Uncle Jim vibes right now. Theoretical, fake Uncle Jim. Theoretical, fake Uncle Jim.
Yes, not a real person.
Uncle Jim listening to this, crying.
Some dude named Jim who's an uncle. We're not talking about you.
I've always been an ally.
We're not talking about you. Whoever you may be. Anyway, yeah, what goes on here with Bethaman et al? What happens?
So Bethaman goes to her and says, hey, I know this is not protocol, but for some reason I'm the only Sean Chan that's able to pivot and realize that there's nuance in the world. So then she proceeds to tell her everything about the Seeker, and Egeanin goes, fuck, that's not at all what happened, but what did happen is also something I don't want him to really discover either. So maybe there's a way to throw Suroth under the bus if we play our cards correctly. Mm-hmm. Because Suroth is probably a baddie, and I would kind of like to see her go down.
Pretty much. Egeanin goes, Bethaman, you'll come to see me every day until you're free. The Seeker will expect it. Until I make my decision, you'll do nothing. You understand me? Nothing except your duties and what I tell you. And then she leaves, and Baeldoman goes, I can kill him. He be a skinny man, as I recall.
What does that have to do with anything?
Used to everyone obeying his word. He will be expecting anyone to snap his neck. And she's like, dude, it's not going to work out, man. Have you seen how high into the head he can kick people? He's like a level 7 head kicker.
Baeldoman's like, luckily, I'm short. He'll miss.
Wait.
He can do the can. Am I right?
And then she's like, hey, look, bud, I'm going to free you and give you a bunch of money to buy a ship. All right,
take back everything I said about her.
Not quite enough to buy a ship, but like, I'm going to free you. You can get out of here. It's going to be all right. And then he goes, if you do free me, you can no give me orders. Besides, you must ensure I can support myself if you do free me.
Wait, why are you...
He's like, no, don't do it. I'm still here. I'm going to help, because she was freeing him to try to get him clear of all this. And he goes, fuck that. I'm staying.
Wait, okay. Wait.
She was going to free him and say, get the fuck out of town.
But only when it seemed like his life would be in danger if he stayed her property.
Yes. So what I will say is, I think because she is stuck in the...
But why not just turn around and go, hey, you're free?
Because she can't do that, because everybody knows he's... Like, what I'll say is, stuck in the perspective of her culture, this is a really interesting... Culture. Yes, it's a dumb culture, but, you know, stuck in the perspective of her culture, is a really interesting pickle, because she's like, I love him very much. But I don't think I could marry him if I freed him. I want him around, so I have to keep him as my Sojin. Because this culture sucks, right? So now she's going, okay, you might be in danger. I'm going to free you so you can leave.
And if Suroth just comes around and stabs you, he also would have to kill himself.
He would do that, yes. So, look, I'm not saying that it's a good situation. I'm saying I think it makes sense within the bounds of her character that this is what's going on with her.
I don't like it.
I know.
I don't like it. I understand that there are character reasons potentially, but I don't like it. I don't have to. I don't like it. I don't like it from her.
He says, you do need a crew, and I can find you one even here. She's like, the fuck are you talking about? This ship? What am I going to do with a crew? Like, how am I going to escape the Seeker? This is not going to work. And he goes, I did recognize that young fellow in the kitchens. The one with the lass on his knee. Oh, stop grimacing. There'd be no harm in a little kissing. His name be Matt Coffin. By his clothes, he's come up in the world and far. So, we recap this, and he goes, any man who can escape, any man who can survive Trollocs and Myrddraal to be useful, I think. Especially now.
That's true. Wait. Bail Domon is a smuggler.
Yes, he is.
They're going to smuggle.
Huh. That could work, couldn't it?
Yep.
Wouldn't that work?
Yep.
He goes, better still, young Master Coffin did have companions on my ship. Good men for this situation, too.
Wait.
One you do know, Tom Marilyn. Go ahead.
Okay, so Tom's going to help Matt deal with Shithead. Tom's going to help Matt deal with Shithead and Teslyn so that they feel like they're part of this plan, maybe. So that they let them all go.
Maybe.
But what's really going to happen is they'll get Matt and co away from Shithead using Egeanin and Bail Domon. Yes?
Maybe.
Smuggle sesh.
She goes, find this Master Coffin and Tom Marilyn if you can. Perhaps something can be done. He failed to bow before leaving her presence, but she did not even consider upbraiding him. She did not intend to let the Seeker take her either, whatever it took to stop him. That was a decision she had reached before she freed Bethamin. And then she filled the dented cup to the brim with brandy, meaning to get so drunk she could not think, but instead she sat peering into the dark liquid without touching a drop. Whatever it took. Light she was no better than Bethamin, but knowing it changed nothing. Whatever it took. So, it kind of seems like maybe now she is doing that turn towards full fuck the system that you were looking for.
I am looking for the full fuck the system.
Because it does seem as though she's now like, fuck it, I'm gonna duck the Seeker. I'm out.
Good.
Right?
Yes.
So, perhaps there is hope for her yet.
Perhaps, but she's on thin ice with me.
It's fine. Look, a map.
A map.
Farmatting.
Looks a little like a hemoglobin.
What?
Like a little, like a little red blood
little
cell.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a little red blood cell.
Thanks for listening, everyone. We have social media if you want to know what we've got going on. We also have a Patreon if you want to support us that way. It's patreon.com/wheeltakes. You can always leave us a rating and a review, which helps a lot. Anything else, Sally?
When I'm at the beach and you look at me, it's pale gaze.
Thanks for listening, everyone. Bye.
When I go out in the garden and I look at all the bugs, it's a snail gaze.
Snails aren't bugs.
They're bugs.
Crustaceans.
Okay, everything's a crustacean.
No, they're
or
not.
becoming one.
Sorry.
Evolution.
Ah.
Everything goes back to crabs.
Thanks for listening, everybody. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you again for listening. This was Wheel Takes with Allie and Gus. Music by Alexander Nakarada.